Thank you for joining us for this year's SC Virtual Breakfast Briefing. I'm Mark Nossokoff, Research Director and Lead Analyst for our Cloud practice, as well as for our storage and interconnects related research. We'll be looking at the state of HPC Cloud in this part of our briefing. Let's start with the overall forecast. We see continued growth in the HPC Cloud market, slightly accelerated from last year's forecast. We now expect a 5-year CAGR of 18.1%, culminating to be over $14 billion in 2027. Additionally, we're projecting growth from $6 billion in 2022 to $7.5 billion in 2023, a 22.6% year-over-year CAGR. Please note that this represents what end users are spending on cloud resources for HPC workloads and not what CSPs are spending to provision those resources. Within that forecast, roughly 1/3 of the spending is towards storage in the cloud, while the other 2/3 is towards compute and other costs, such as software licenses and services. Recent studies indicate that current hybrid cloud users are accelerating a shift of their on-premises budget to their HPC cloud budgets. We'll take a look at further growth drivers in a few slides after sharing a few more perspectives on the cloud forecast. When compared with the on-premises HPC market, cloud spending is growing at over 2 times the rate than on-premises spending resources, at a rate of 18.1% versus 7.4%. That said, spending on on-prem resources is expected to be 3 times as that on cloud resources in 2027, $44 billion versus $14 billion. This reflects a combined 5-year CAGR of 9.5% overall in the HPC market, including both on-premises and cloud spending. Certain industry verticals have been leveraging HP resources in the cloud more than others. Biosciences and CIE, which includes manufacturing, were far and away the earliest and most aggressive adopters of HPC cloud resources, representing 46% of the market in 2022. While both are still growing over the forecast period, they are projected to comprise 41% of the market in 2027. At an almost 30% CAGR, the weather vertical is expected to exhibit the highest growth rate over the forecast period, followed by geosciences, economics, financial, and government labs. These verticals, along with CAE and defense, are all expected to grow faster than the aggregate 18.1% CAGR. Several additional factors are being seen to drive increased spending on HPC cloud resources, in addition to the past primary drivers of cost effectiveness relative to running the same job on premises, flexibility to absorb surge workload demand, overall scale of resources relative to that available on premises, and access to new technologies, including AI-specific platforms and quantum computing resources. Overall, AI and growing LLM usage, both training and inference, are leading to increased cloud resource adoption, although this is not yet fully reflected in overall market or vendor numbers. GPU supply chain constraints and limited availability of GPUs beyond major CSPs and leading HPC vendors make cloud usage the only available option to some to access the latest GPU technology. CSPs are investing across many fronts to ease cloud migrations and integrations with existing on-premises HPC workflows. We'll explore other areas of CSP investments when we look at some supply-side trends on the next slide. Users continue to mature their understanding of the types and scale of workloads appropriate for them to leverage cloud resources. While each user and site has a different definition and profile of what appropriate means, the aggregate result is an increased number of jobs being migrated to the cloud. Let's shift the discussion a bit from the demand side to the supply side of cloud-based HPC resources. CSPs continue to make substantial investments to provision HPC cloud resources. In addition to being early adopters of the latest technologies from the merchant CPU and GPU providers, they are also investing in captive application-specific accelerators, most notably AWS with Graviton, Inferentia, and Trainium, and Google with their family of TPUs. Other significant SP investments include Google's optical circuit switching Apollo network and investments by all the major CSPs in solution-focused tools and software. It should be noted, too, these investments are not only driven by external clients for traditional HPC applications and use cases, but likely more so to support AI and LLM-based solutions and services to non-traditional HPC users and use cases. Beyond the major public third-party broad market CSPs is a class of provider focusing exclusively on accelerated solutions. These providers, such as CoreWeave, are addressing the supply constraints of GPU vendors and providing accelerated services to organizations who don't require full utilization of GPU-based resources to warrant on-premises investments in the area, or who aren't able to provide enough demand to access near-term access to GPUs on suppliers' allocation lists. Another evolving trend is by previously vertically oriented cloud service providers expanding market coverage beyond their original area of focus. While their HP solutions were targeted and matured within a single vertical, other verticals have similarly complex infrastructure needs and analytical challenges, but not the level of expertise these vertically oriented providers possess. System providers are also including investments in this area. From supporting on-premises deployments with cloud-like OpEx-based business models to hosting HPC resources on their own managed clouds, system vendors are offering expanded cloud service portfolios to be a one-stop shop for users looking for a single on-premises and cloud procurement, service, and support partner. In the coming year, we'll continue exploring the topics just discussed, as well as expanding our coverage of utilization and cloud use case trends. This concludes the cloud portion of today's programming. We look forward to hearing from you with any questions you may have. Take care and enjoy SC23.